Castelvetrano wins. Castelvetrano olives. If you don't say it quickly, you say it wrong. We're gonna have a test afterwards to make sure we can all say it right. If you haven't made rice pilaf, this is your lucky day. It's kind of an interesting version because we're adding chicken, we're making a meal out of this, and we're adding some heft with a little bit more vegetable because we don't ever have enough vegetables, and I just love adding vegetables whenever I can. We're gonna start with cauliflower. I love cauliflower, and we're gonna break it down to florets. Now, if you think, cauliflower's not my favorite, maybe you haven't had it roasted. Roasted cauliflower is special, and the thing is, what we're gonna do is roast everything in one pan. So the same pan that we're gonna make this whole dish with rice, lots of spices, lots of flavor, dried apricots, nuts. It's all gonna be done in the same pan. So what I'm gonna do is break it roughly into florets. Some of them, if they're too big, I'll break them down further. And I'm leaving them whole. Now, the one thing I do always wanna say, if they feel long to you and you're tempted to slice off some of that stem, don't throw it out. This stem is gold. It tastes like cauliflower, and it gets just as tender in the oven. You know, I'm not someone that talks about food waste a lot, but I don't like to waste it. And if it's something good, if it's nutritious, if it has flavor, you don't get rid of it. Putting all the cauliflower in there. Now, I am someone, I'm gonna sound like my grandma and my mom here. I am someone that oftentimes even am tempted to just trim up that stem a little bit and throw that in there. There's no reason you can't. Let's not get rid of it. The rest I will compost. Then we have a red onion. So I'm reusing a red onion. One, it has color, right? We like the color of a red onion. It's pretty, it offers something extra. I'm also using it because it has a nice lighter flavor. And I think that's kind of something that's really nice. Now I'm gonna admit, had I checked it before, this red onion has a little bit of bad on it, but this is a great time to understand that, yeah, things aren't always perfect. And so what we're gonna do with some of that bad is just trim it off. So if you have pieces of bad on an onion, they're in layers. And you know what that makes it easy to do? Take off the layers that aren't so good. Compost those, and then move on to the part of the onion that is good. So this, I'm going to give it a rough, let's remove that little stem or that little root end. And what we're gonna do is just give this a very rough chop. We don't have to go too small because all of this is getting roasted. So I don't mind just throwing it in there. And the red onion, like I said, it's gonna have a little bit sweeter flavor. I really like that. And I like that it just actually kind of deepens its flavor while it's roasting, which I think is the whole point anytime we roast vegetables. You could par cook the cauliflower and the onion a different way, but the thing is when you roast it, you're gonna be adding flavor to them. So once I have all that in there, you can just break up some of these pieces of onion if you want to. See, they're in those nice layers, but I don't mind if they stay in kind of some hefty pieces because I think that adds interest too, and they're gonna be roasting. So you can see it lays in here really well. This is also gonna be the dish we're gonna finish everything in. So what I'm gonna do now is take a little bit of olive oil. Olive oil is really any vegetable's best friend when it's gonna be roasted in the oven. Olive oil not only has flavor, but it acts as that carrier to help the heat transfer and start caramelizing all of the goodness of these vegetables. So I'm just gonna give it a quick toss in that just to make sure it's coating it, because you want everything to be coated to make sure that when it comes in contact with that high heat, it actually roasts. Then we're gonna take some salt, kosher salt, we're gonna sprinkle it on. Salt is the second best friend. So you have olive oil as the first, salt is the second, and then pepper's the third. So that's just our base flavors. We're gonna add a big seasoning blend after this, but we're gonna put it into roast first. While that's roasting, you can kind of get this ready. So really it can come together, honestly, in about 30 minutes and then it goes into bake. But what we have here are Castelvetrano olives. If you don't say it quickly, you say it wrong. Castelvetrano, and they are my favorite olive. Not only are they a little bit, I think they're a nice light green color, they have a flavor that to me is really balanced. You know, black olives are kind of just one note, but these Castelvetrano ones are, they truly are. They're the olive of olives. I think they are maybe the belle of the ball. They're just my favorite olive. And I think they work really well in this dish. The flavor goes well with everything we're doing. I give them a very rough chop. Nothing perfect. I like some left whole, some chopped up. So when those are ready, we have everything else really ready to go, because when that comes out of the oven, we're just pulling it all together. We have apricots that are chopped up too. Just a rough chop, nothing perfect. Some in half, some in quarters. It doesn't really matter. We have pistachios, we have almonds that I did make sure I toasted. Always toast your almonds, and my pistachios already came toasted. I think anytime you can toast something like a nut, you're gonna have more flavor on it, and that's super important. So in here in front of me, I have really the beginnings of our spice blend. We have some ground cumin, we have a little bit of turmeric, a little bit of cardamom, which might surprise you, but together it works so well with some cinnamon and some garlic powder. Now with this, we're gonna do some just fresh cracked black pepper, get that pepperiness in there, and some salt, super important. Put that right in there. And what we have here is our spice blend. Now, when you are smelling this, what I love is it smells like the most beautiful spice market. And all you did was really utilize those spices in your spice cabinet. Now, I will always say, by the way, if you don't go through them once a year, go through them and check the dates, because that's what's gonna give you the best flavor if they're more fresh. If they are years old, yeah, I know you have years old spices too, but if they are, freshen them up. It smells so good. What I wanna do now is just take a little bit of the spice mixture out, just more to let me know how much I'm using. And we're going to utilize it in two ways. So this is gonna flavor all of our rice and everything else. It's also gonna flavor our chicken thighs. Now, the reason I'm doing chicken thighs is rice takes a while to cook in the oven, right? Sometimes chicken breasts can get dried out in that time because they don't take as long, and they just don't take long to get dried out. Chicken thighs, on the other hand, are a dark meat. They retain a lot of flavor, they retain a lot of moisture, and they can really take that longer time in the oven. So what I'm doing is just right now, taking a little bit of that spice mixture that I separated. I'm gonna just rub it and pat it into these so it can just sit on here a little bit before it all goes right back in the oven together and it bakes with the rice. Pulled this out of the oven, you can see it just is beginning to get a little bit of those beautiful charred marks on it, a little bit of caramelization, and it's par cooking really the cauliflower. It's not mushy, it's not fully cooked, we're just getting that nice kind of par cook and some color on it and flavor. Now we can put everything together, it's the best part. So I have rinsed and drained basmati rice, and I made sure to rinse it to get the excess starch off. Super important, then just let it sit there and drain. Look at already, this is gonna be an exciting dish, right? Because we're adding so much goodness to it. Dried apricots, like I said, chopped up. Those are gonna add sweetness. Think of the little pockets of sweet you're gonna get. Remember our hard work on these olives, Castelvetrano. We're gonna have a test afterwards to make sure we can all say it right. Seriously, the best olive. You're gonna keep it in your fridge all the time because it is so good. We're gonna have pistachios, and they're salted, roasted. They come like that. Why sit there and have to do them all yourself? You can get them like this. And then those toasted almonds, the sliced ones, because that texture is better than a whole almond in there. Now, before I just mix everything in, I do want to just start mixing this with that rest of that beautiful spice blend that, oh my goodness, smells so good. And this is just gonna go right into this whole dish. So look already at this, pretty much a pilaf here we have. Look at the colors we have going on. Look at all that flavor, that texture. We're adding delicious nutrients to it too. That's what I love. This rice is becoming so much more than just rice. And now to this, as I kind of just begin to mix it together, we're gonna do two things to it. We of course need some stock. So this is gonna help obviously cook the rice, and we're gonna pour it right in, but then with the stock, which at first looks like a lot, but remember, rice absorbs, we have some heavy cream. Now heavy cream adds that better texture to me. So rice on its own with the stock would be delicious, but heavy creams adds a little bit of richness. You know, the chicken thighs are lean, they don't have the skin on them or anything. There's not a lot of fat in this dish. So adding that heavy cream is adding that kind of extra oomph to take the richness up a little bit and make this meal extra special. This is gonna be something you can serve company. Do not think this is just something that is only meant for the family. This is meant for everyone because it's that good. So here we have everything almost ready to go in, and then we have our chicken thighs that have been sitting in that beautiful spice blend. Now these are boned, skinless. If you want the skin on, the thing is, I like the skinless here ones because this is gonna get covered and it's gonna bake. So the skin would not have a chance to get, crispy or delicious, which is what you would want if you were really gonna have that skin on. So what I am doing is just putting these in here, whatever which way, and that's the best part now. They go into the oven and they just bake, and everything is gonna get covered. Guys, if this does not look, this is a weeknight meal to end all weeknight meals, and it makes you look like you're something special when you're gonna say, actually, it took no work at all. So we're gonna cover it just to make sure we trap in the steam, just like we do when we cook rice in the oven. Put it right back in at a lower temperature now, we're not roasting it. And pretty soon, we're gonna have a meal. The chicken was pulled out of the oven. Now, during that baking process, I did take the foil off at the end. It just helps finish everything up, kind of brown up the chicken a little bit. What's great is, even though there's no skin on the chicken, which usually would say, well, that's kind of an ugly chicken, the spices we put on, the seasonings, actually to me add a little bit more interest back on. So it kind of has that nice color. You can finish up with a little bit of chopped parsley. And yes, that does add just flavor. It's not just for pretty. I mean, it does make it pretty, but it's not just for pretty. The parsley does add flavor, especially fresh chopped parsley. So this is when you can just serve it up. Now, what I love is you see the colors of this. You see the olives, the apricots, the nuts. The best part is the leftovers are good, just as good as eating it now. And then look at all this beautiful, so it soaks up all that cream, all of the stock, and look how good it looks. So you have your cauliflower. This really is a whole meal in one. I'm going in even for more before I even eat it. That rice is perfectly tender. And can I just tell you, the flavor I'm getting from it, even before I actually go in and get some of this meat, which I love thigh meat, by the way. Thigh meat is always so moist, so delicious. What I love is nothing is lacking on flavor. There is so much going on in this, but it all works together really well. It's not like any one thing is sticking out and you're wondering why it's there. It all is working well to create a pilaf with a whole meal in one and the chicken on top. Let me tell you something. This is gonna become one of your new go-to weeknight meals. It's good enough that if you're having friends over on a weekend or on a weeknight, make this for them too, because look how beautiful it presents. Put a salad on the side. This is a beautiful presentation and it's really delicious. It's comforting, it's hearty, has a lot of health to it, and it's just really fun to make. So what do I hope you do? I hope you make it. I hope you see how easy this is. Go check my website, wyseguy.com, for this whole recipe. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. And as always, I hope you're inspired to make something delicious because it really is that good.